Alexia Cummins and her brother Cody wave goodbye to their father, Sergeant Edward Cummins of the 169th MP unit. Before he leaves, Alexia sends her daddy a special cross.
So he could be safe.
And so God could be with him?
Sergeant Cummins is one of 150 MPs from Rhode Island taking off for the security mission in New Orleans. The MPs are packing for weeks of self-sufficiency. Governor Carcieri addressed the troops, describing the chaos in the Big Easy.
People who haven't eaten, had water, anything for days. And you know what happens when people get desperate. At the same time, you got some thugs.
As the MPs leave Rhode Island with their shotguns and M16s and head towards a place of near anarchy and lawlessness, many aren't sure what they'll find when they get to New Orleans.
I don't really know what to expect down there, so I'm just keeping an open mind and, you know, I'll use my training and my common sense.
They are in a bad situation down there. They're getting pretty desperate, and it's a little unnerving.
Justin and Michael and the rest of the MPs will be outfitted with flak jackets and Kevlar helmets. They've been immunized for hepatitis. As Alexia Cummins' dad and the rest of the MPs take off from Quonset, she sends her thoughts.
I just want to say that I love him and I hope he makes it home all right.
John DeLuca, ABC 6 News.
Dozens of firefighters struggled for an hour and a half to get the flames under control at this home on Forest and Camp Streets in Providence. A family of 3 got out safe because a fire alarm woke them up. They noticed smoke pouring out of the basement.
By the time we got here, the fire was well involved in the rest of the house. Heavy smoke on the second floor and also in the basement.
Fire and smoke were so intense, 4 firefighters ended up at the hospital treated for small burns and electrical shock and exhaustion.
They really took a beating in there.
You couldn't see anything around this area. It was really smoky. And the flame was coming up through the roof of the house, and it was bad. I was afraid this house was going to catch a fire.
Witnesses say the whole house seemed to go up at once, something the fire department says is common in homes built before World War II, like many houses in Providence. That's because many have what's called balloon framing construction, where a small empty space runs the length of the vertical beams, a perfect route for fire to spread straight to the attic.
If it did start in the basement, it could travel up to the loft and involve the whole house unimpeded, basically.
The chief recommends you put fireproof insulation in your walls, particularly if your home has balloon frame construction, and above all, install and maintain fire detectors all over the house. This home will be declared a total loss. The Red Cross is helping the family make arrangements. In Providence, Suzanne Pajot, ABC 6 News.
If you've driven by Charles Street recently, you've seen this and a lot of these. Kelly's Gas, meanwhile, has not seen much of this.
We're not getting the traffic from downtown because they got the road blocked off, and they're catching the highway from different spots, and it's been down the gas.
Kelly says it's down 35% April 04 to April 05.
Yeah.
Victor Forte Jr., owner of VF Liquors, has seen a 30 to 35% fizz in biz. An example, before the construction, VF sold 100 cases of Budweiser a week. Now it takes nearly 3 weeks.
Oh, the traffic's a headache. They don't want to come through. They find other ways to get around, so they avoid the whole area. Meanwhile, we lose business.
The loss of business, the traffic congestion, the general eyesore, they're all scheduled to be gone in November of this year. But the business owners we spoke with are taking a wait-and-see approach.
They said they'll be out of here by August. Now it's November, so we're hoping it's November and everything will be back to normal.
Why the delay? Jamie Sammons of the Narragansett Bay Commission tells us a micro-tunneling machine hit extremely hard rock and delayed the process. When all 3 phases are done in 2020, raw sewage overflow will be eliminated, meaning fewer beach and shellfish enclosures.
I agree with all that, but we suffer. There's the repercussions of it. Affects our business, but what can you do about it?
Not much, Victor, but it's almost over. We hope. John DeLuca, ABC 6 News.
At Coventry House of Pizza or Chop, food is a family affair. Gloria and Joe Chapdelaine bought the restaurant this past summer. In terms of their workforce, they literally created their employees.
We've always been very close. Very close. And my girls, we have 5 girls and 3 boys.
All 8 kids work at CHOP. Each one has a specific job. Christine works the grill, Kimberly and Samantha man the front and make sandwiches.
And then I have my son Jonathan. He's the pizza maker. And we have Joe, who's the pizza cook.
Crystal keeps watch on 9-year-old Tia, the Chapdelaine's youngest, and then there's Matthew.
He helps out in the kitchen with dishes and kind of whatever else we need, we'll yell back to him.
Hold on, Matthew. Do you do dishes while you're at home, too?
No.
This is Gloria and Joe's first attempt in the restaurant business. Their kids had the experience working summers in their grandfather's pizza place.
My kids knew from working with Grandpa, they all knew how to make the dough, so they taught us.
Here's how the schedule works. Mom, Dad, and Kimberly, who graduated from high school, come in first thing in the morning. As for the rest of the clan?
They come in at 2 after school, and that's the slow time, so they kind of have time to do their homework and stuff like that, and then gear up for the night shift.
And there's also no playing hooky from work.
Oh no. Unless you're deathly sick, I don't think so.
For working together 7 days a week and living together, this is a very harmonious bunch. But every now and then, there's a little guarded bickering.
If we get into an argument and someone comes in, we just shut up. We drop it.
Joe and Gloria hope one day to pass the business on to their children, but for now, they're loving every minute of it.
Their lives are our lives, and we share everything. So it's just natural that we would all work together.
This is all tomato plants.
Louis Alves has a hidden treasure behind his modest Lincoln home. A garden even green thumbs would envy. Alves grew up on a farm in Portugal. He says his father's secret still works wonders.
He pray for the plant to grow. I do the same way.
So you pray?
I pray, yeah. So I talk it, I pray, I talk it.
The proof is in his product. How big do the tomatoes get?
How big are the tomatoes? About 2.5 pounds sometimes.
All of his plants start off as seeds in May. Alves spends most of his day in the garden.
I get out of the bed at maybe 5:30, I come over here.
Watering, weeding, and clearing his head.
I forgot about a lot of things. So I keep my mind in the tomatoes.
What Alves can't get out of his mind is February 20th, 2003. The station nightclub fire claimed the life of his only son.
This is my sweet son.
Tears come when Alves and his wife Maria talk about their son. Louis was 33 when he was killed. A room in their home pays tribute to Louis where his favorite sweatshirts still hang. That's why the garden is so important. It's a place where things grow as the Alves struggle day to day.
Well, I have to do it. I love it. I love it, this kind of the work.
It's kind of therapy for you.
Yeah.
Alves has so many tomatoes, he gives many of them away. Taste one of his tomatoes and you realize why the neighbors appreciate his generosity.
Somebody say, why you don't sell tomatoes? Now I feel bad, I gave it tomatoes.
It's a hobby that gives him great joy at a time when it's hard to come by.